uh, the party screen as well.
Hmm.
Alright. Alright, so last we left off, we discovered I guess, the original place where the prophecy first started.
Hmm. And then Newlet said he wanted to talk to Furina about it, and I think that's
Yeah,
kind of
he's
it.
gonna confront her about it, see if there's any more details. Um,
Yeah,
the coolest characters this arc died, unfortunately.
true. How?
Uh, may their souls rest in peace. They were the real ones up until even after death. So, yeah, let me pull up the stream real quick just to make sure it's running okay.
Hmm.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Alright. Alright, cool beans. Looking good. Now let's get started.
Yeah.
Got my coffee with me as well. Alright. Hopefully we don't get any more interruptions. That would be ideal. I'd very much appreciate that, please.
You can never be sure,
You're here!
but
Finally!
we can hope.
Mm-hmm.
Is something wrong? Monsieur Nyra and Lady Furina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Hmm.
Ah,
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Poisson. Dot dot dot.
You mean they're all...
Yep. That includes Silver and
I
Malus.
did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Shout out to Nuvalet for, putting his foot down.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Like he's
You're
not he's
questioning
not
me like this is a court case
taking
now.
any of this
I don't
bullshit
know
anymore.
anything
Yeah.
about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I guess to be fair, slightly, it's not like Fosslor would know, what
Yeah.
Agirio was doing. Um,
The same with like Nahida. She didn't know what the fuck Rukadabata was doing before that.
yeah, like I wasn't around for that, bro.
Yeah.
um, what was I gonna say? I'm really curious, like, who's who foresaw the prophecy in the first place?
Mm.
Because I feel that's pretty
Like that's
important.
never mentioned once. Yeah.
Yeah, like the origin of the prophecy isn't
Was it
really
like
mentioned.
the yeah, was it the previous Archon herself, or was it someone else? Like,
I don't know. It would have to be the previous Archon, right? I don't know how it would be anyone else.
yeah, who
I don't. I've
knows?
never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to or apologize for a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
What was said to be the original sin in the trailers? I feel like it was said.
Uh, I can't remember, at least.
It was definitely brought up. Like the original sin was the cruelest of them all? I don't know.
Maybe.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Furina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters.
Okay.
There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know
Nicolette's
about
getting
my
real
secret
tired of her.
investigations,
Yeah.
you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eunuchs, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine.
Furina, do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah.
He can freaking like destroy you like immediately if he wanted to. Like the only thing holding him back is Celestia itself.
That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
And thus he arrested her. That was an
Why
interesting
is it in
slowdown.
slow-mo?
Yeah.
Furina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
She seems deeply troubled. She seems to be deliberately hiding something.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Furina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
Yeah, man, she's been like this the entire arc. I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is. You know, you would
I
think the
feel
list
like
of
she,
victims would be,
yeah, like I feel like she understands the direness of the situation. That's not
yeah,
really the problem.
yeah, like we
I
gave her
think
a
it's
list of
something
people who
else.
evaporated.
Yeah. Like she seemed truly concerned for them. So like I don't
Uh,
think the problem is she's not getting it.
the problem is that she needs to communicate.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to.
Which
We may have
is
to
a
create
massive
a
pet peeve of
situation
mine,
where
by
she
the
will have
way.
no choice but to speak.
So we're gonna arrest her.
Like what?
That's where this is leading up to.
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Furina's seen so many questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can.
This is gonna backfire with the whole
If it were
Ortrice
possible, I would prefer to recuse
sentence.
myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna do the whole mock trial thing, and then they're just gonna use Ortrice for, you know, system's sake.
Yes.
And you're just gonna go, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
In that case, we will need help.
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I think I know who to call. Arlecchino? Bet? Arlecchino? The Knave? Harbinger? Let's go. A few days later, on a boat somewhere in quiet Boson.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
Right,
That's
Risley?
what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice
Oh,
to
well, it's
meet you
good
in
that,
secret, you know? Care for a cup?
Hold on. It's good I'm able to see Linny without his story quest getting in the way.
Yeah.
I was worried about that.
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Yo, Fremine, let's go.
No, I don't think I can.
Then how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will
Hey.
cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
Ether brought up the idea of arresting Folklore, and Navi was like, yo, bet, let's do this. I waited my whole life.
Yeah.
I've always
Fucking
wanted this.
finally.
I'm happy again.
That was a little
Corin.
unexpected, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Okay.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Yo, Corin screen time. Let's go.
Fremine and I
Oh.
once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette,
Oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters.
Marechaussee.
That was their name.
Hmm.
They did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus.
Various monsters. Ancient dynasty. Hetty churls?
Hmm?
Is she referring to Hetty churls?
I don't think so, necessarily.
Yeah.
Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake.
You know, that is true. Like, there isn't a whole lot of, like, Hetty churls and such in Fontaine. Like, there's some, but not a lot compared to the other nations.
I mean, eh, maybe a
Like,
bit less, but like,
most of the enemies are, just regular animals or fatui. And those mechs.
yeah.
Like, there isn't that much. I mean, there are hitty trolls, but there isn't as much as there is in other nations. For sure.
A trap comprises of the following components: bait, trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind.
Huh.
I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
I'm very confused on Chlorian's age. Like, one moment she sounds quite a few years older than Navia, and like right now they're making it sound like they're pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are pretty close in age, and then her voice sounding older, that can just be, that can just be like that she has naturally a deeper voice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It wasn't really much of a matter of voice. It was just a matter of
oh,
character context. Like, it sounded like she was not Navia's dad's age, but closer to his age and to Navia's age. But I don't know.
I guess, yeah, I guess.
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
Would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line is exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Did we not know beforehand why everyone was here? Everyone just gathered to one place, ready for whatever.
At least some of them weren't aware.
Khan's hunting metaphor was just that, a metaphor. You will not call this a hunt because that is not what we should do at present. Nor has the relationship between you and Furina reached such a dire stage. What you need is simply the secrets she is keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but must be done to prevent Fontaine from sinking into the waters as foretold in the prophecy. There is neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That is what you would need. Alright. Go to the spin of the Ruzula base. Alright. Oh, we're going to see Mono again here? Oh yeah, that's right, we were supposed to meet Mono's master.
It's been a tough few days,
Oh yeah.
hasn't it?
I forgot about that.
Much has been happening.
Those meetings sure did make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Do you feel more confident after the meetings, Paimon?
Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you?
Is something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Well, I think that's a master.
Probably.
Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Oh, she's invisible. Go figure.
Who's that voice?
She might also just be like using the teacup as like a way to be there.
Like she used a teacup?
Yeah, like remember Klee's mother?
Yeah.
How she used like objects to speak to others?
Yeah.
Like, see what's going on.
Aw, have you forgotten me already?
She sounds similar to Mona.
You are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
From the sky in Sumeru. I remember hearing a voice during the Scaramouche quest. But what do you mean sky?
I guess just like I don't remember exactly. I remember there was a voice, but I don't remember when or what. So
The voice
been
from
too
the
long.
sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Who are you? And what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Oh, so she's not Mona's master.
Mm.
She's Mona's master's friend. Okay.
Which I guess doesn't change too much, but
Yeah. So this is one of the friends of Mona's master, the hold on. Enigmatic Inn of the Hexen Circle. Allow me to ask
bad
you,
Xenoblade reference.
Inn? Will Fontaine's prophecy come true?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then, is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
There it is again. Fate.
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
Hold on, that's a quote. Could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? That's when Dainsleif was referring to Conria, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure. And just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, so it was definitely, the prophecy definitely originated from a god. So I'm assuming the previous Hardro Archon saw it.
Yeah.
Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive? ...
What is she talking about? It sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
Tea in a teacup is just about gone as well.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All
Okay.
you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
Mage Inn. Is this the clue you're leaving for us? Someone seems to be outside.
What? I want to hear someone die.
So what I'm hearing is she basically just said, just go with it, bro.
Yeah. Like, she didn't really say anything to help us stop it
Yeah.
or anything.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah. Just hope you won't die.
Yeah.
Or you won't die, rather.
Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Hey. Have you been these past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. All Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Nice.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You remember her, right? That daredevil journalist?
Yeah, whose personality is a journalist.
Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Actually, someone already came over. tell Mona about your mysterious guest?
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
I believe she came to pass a message to us. It was kind of vague, though.
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Huh.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
I mean, Paimon, one of them literally created the Rift Hounds, and also Albedo.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... perhaps it is
The
something
pauses
you
are very long sometimes. True, her words were meant as a helpful hint, but when will we realize their value and meaning? Was that the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you
This
know?
is the last act.
I see.
Yep.
I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. As far as I'm concerned, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal. Perhaps
Oh,
that's
whoops.
what Ben was trying to tell you.
I meant to press square.
To lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going.
I wonder how many people like right about now are just kind of freaking out and just, packing their stuff and getting ready to just leave Fontaine.
Probably a lot,
Yeah.
honestly.
Like, especially after the Poisson incident.
It's weird that they don't show any of that.
Yeah. Like, if my country had a prophecy that everybody would just drown, and like just yesterday I hear news that a quarter of a town just died from the water, I would
Yeah.
leave. Like, oh, it's coming real soon.
Trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way. That might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Thanks, Mona. It's always
Kinda sad, too. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Alright. Wanna take a little walk? Where does this lead? Okay. Okay. I feel like this is taking me somewhere, but I don't know where. Oh, chest. Nice.
Take them. I have no need.
Anything else around here? No. Alright. I wonder if we'll see any other recurring character. Or, yeah, see just another character in general from the past.
Not this act, I think.
Yeah, that's probably it. I wonder if we'll see anybody in that one.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an outsider
Just
friend
commit a
become
felony,
focus of this
Charlotte.
report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker.
Sure am.
Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her.
Wow, thanks, Charlotte. That's kind of
At the fortress, so
unethical of you.
it's easier to find. She's using us as the subject matter instead.
Pretty sure you needed permission to post those photos first.
Don't worry about it.
She's using us as such matter instead. That seems to be the case.
Seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
No!
Wait. No. Well.
I knew it was too good to be true. God damn it.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the
Oh, the quality on
former
YouTube
Magic
is
himself,
struggling
they
a little.
begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lenny stroking his ego.
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that... As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
This guy was his assistant?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up.
I don't remember.
I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Lenny. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The Weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head-on.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
Uh-oh. This is getting awkward.
Paimon,
Lorenzo?
shut up.
Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what they say? Live fast, die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older when he first got rejected by the
Alright, this is pretty fun.
And he's still into, from what I hear.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Linny, be my guest.
Cool beans.
But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
That's a threat.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that?
Yeah, that's great. Can we go back to the Archon quest, though?
And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just...
Nope. That's annoying. You know, straight up from now on, I'm not gonna have any story quests open unless
Yeah.
there's no Archon quest to do.
I just think it's weird that, like, they don't even prioritize the Archon quests. Like,
Yeah.
you would think that's the more important
Who are
stuff.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many.
They just really need to like
Right.
you enable what
I
quest to
way
make
too much
active.
right there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So, he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh,
Hey! Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions. I'll make an enemy out of him.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again.
His voice
And
acting is really good.
Trouble with
Yeah.
Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. There's some flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
And there he goes.
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening in to our whole conversation.
Oh yeah.
Don't say anything and don't look
And the
back.
very not
Any
suspicious guy with
altercation
the
in the city
glasses in the
will attract the
background.
guards. We better take this elsewhere.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
What? Did we just instantly go into the Archon quest?
I think so. Wild.
Is that what's happening?
I guess.
What?
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake!
Yeah, I think we are. I guess oh maybe the location was what was
Yeah.
being occupied.
It was so delicious the last time we tried it. Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great.
We can't let anyone get ahead of me or get ahead of
One
us.
slice of cake, please. Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
What does that mean?
Did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
That's expensive.
Every day?
How do you
It's part
afford
of my
that?
daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then
Why are
what
you
if
sad all
someone
of a
told
sudden?
you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But
Paimon,
why
what's
would it
bringing this
close?
up?
Yeah.
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Okay, Paimon, you
The
party pooper.
prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today.
You know, that kind of raises a question actually. Would primordial water have any effect on mezzalines?
Magazines.
Mezzalines?
I don't know. But like, since you know it's just Fontaine people in general, I
Uh-huh.
would assume they're also part of that.
I don't know. That is a question.
It's the same for eating
It could
in
be
general.
that they're
You might
not
not be able
affected.
to eat tomorrow,
Mhm.
but if you can
Who
do so
knows?
today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans.
That's
She said
interesting.
that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
Oh, you're not
I've got so
wrong.
much else to do, so I'll be going now.
Yeah.
You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
It does not look delicious.
It's more delicious than last time, and the flavor gets even better with the sip of tea.
Why are we getting like a 10-minute scene about cake and food?
Sure would be
Who
nice
knows?
if we could always eat delicious food here.
Like, I get it, Paimon's depressed, but this is taking a while.
I guess we really were just here for cake, huh?
Mhm.
The Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Not that. There. Okay. That is the right quest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Yeah, I don't recall giving you permission to post those photos or take photos. Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though.
Uh-huh.
It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food. Really?
You know, Charlotte, this is what we call a bribery.
You're a little too easy to win over, Paimon.
What you did is still legal.
Ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. Can this daredevil
That was too funny.
dare to request an exclusive interview with the
I like that delivery
legendary
there.
Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do
I don't
is
like
take
Charlotte.
to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Journalism is all she ever talks about. It gets old.
Yeah. Are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh. In that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and... Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Okay. What was the point of that?
I was about to say, like, what was the point of this scene?
Yeah.
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Is that the whole point of these almost pointless scenes?
I
Like
guess.
just us being sad and asking people what would they do on their last day?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a mood check-in, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often.
I guess it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like, I'm surprised people aren't trying to leave after what happened in Poisson.
A way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen,
You're not forsaking your homeland if it floods.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to stop that, personally.
rather than worry over such an end.
It's like saying, oh, my house is going to get nuked. I'll be forsaking my house if I didn't stay. Like, no, that's not how that works. You're getting nuked regardless.
So in all likelihood,
You're not forsaking anything.
Like, maybe you can say, like, oh, the captain goes down with the ship, but not the fucking whole crew.
Yeah.
I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this ship really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless.
That truly unique person probably would be leaving too.
That story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic.
You sound like one.
My job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist.
You sure were.
But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
Ah, yes.
Sure.
our problem itself.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yeah?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
I mean, Paimon, a large chunk of Teyvat would probably be flooded too.
Yeah.
Like, even if the water doesn't evaporate, non-Fontanians, it's still water. You're still gonna drown. It's just like Charlotte said, Sunny trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these sorts of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Yeah, cherishing every single moment. That I have to look upon this world.
Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Yepper. The banter goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. As night falls, you return to your accommodations and end this busy day. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conducts an interview in the Spina de Rosula safe house at the... Oh boy. Flavia Sinj... I don't know, man. Navia, having finished her business in Poisson, even drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well.
Yay.
Hey, we're here again.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
I'm actually, yeah, there's probably a huge mold problem down here.
Better than the fortress in Meripede, that's for sure.
It's probably very much not healthy to live here.
The two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Bro, imagine being a prisoner and having a better life than the lower class. Oh, wait.
That's just life.
That's us for real.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide.
So you're under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Well, let's hear it.
Yes, inside the opera house. The Maréchaussée Phantom
Maréchaussée.
the incident a small-scale riot.
Let's hear the incident, small-scale riot. What incident?
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it
What?
was that serious. Lady Furina was watching a performance at the opera house, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis.
Is this true or is this staged?
Could be
And
true.
before she could
I
respond,
mean,
others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
Yeah.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
I mean, rightfully so in this circumstance.
they are gods for a reason.
That is literally her responsibility. It kind of sounds like she's trying to defend Furina when she shouldn't be.
So what happened after that? Is Furina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry.
She went to go cry.
The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I understand the situation.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on.
Is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You know what's an interesting parallel I kind of noticed? Like, back in Sumeru, we met up with all the characters we've met thus far and hatched like this grand scheme to overthrow the government and put the god back in power. In Fontaine, we're meeting with all the characters we've met thus far, and we're like hatching a scheme to overthrow the god and put the government in power. Yeah, like we're kind of doing the opposite as the last arc, which I think is pretty interesting.
To be fair, it's not wholly about like control of the nation and more of just
Yeah, like it's not the exact same, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If we know Furina, she won't do things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling.
That sounds counterproductive, but sure. Oh yeah, let me go to the crime scene of where my mistakes are.
Yeah.
That'll make me feel better.
Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
I see becoming a detective's done you some good. Looks like those detective novels haven't had an effect on you.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come.
Alright.
Back to Poisson.
I'll be AR-60 really soon.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Furina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
I wonder if they permanently changed the music gear.
I think that's the music already played before. Could be wrong. Hold on, I haven't done the quest. I can actually check right now.
Yeah, so I'd say like it's that I'm fairly certain the music was always this sad. Alright. Oh. Hey, there she is.
That's Furina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Shh. Stay quiet for now.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Furina.
Who's that?
Don't worry, Furina.
It's me, your boy.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
You know, I'll give credit where credit is due. She's really good at slipping back into character.
Yeah. Also, the music did change.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't remember what it used to be at all, but I knew it wasn't that. I'm just curious if it's going to be like that from now on.
Crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains
It's a
on your
bit more
face are
chill,
obvious.
more happy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nyra and those people from the Maréchal Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
That
Alright.
laugh. Stop trying to act tough, Reno. You're actually beyond devastated right now, aren't you?
Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there!
Oh, Furina, this is not the place to be of all places right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, those people are gonna be mad.
Quick, after her!
Let's go. The French people are Frenching.
Those people seem to be after you.
No shit, Paimon.
They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's
Furina, they have a knife.
I can't let them get their way.
Furina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Maybe first try to stop the people that are running after them.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to fight them to begin with. To be fair,
Yeah,
like,
no.
they're very justified in their behavior.
Mm.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Furina!
What should be the
There's a good
place?
hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Okay. A small house. It's not even a bed in here.
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they display.
This place is not what I'd call soundproof. You might want to lower your voice to stay hidden.
You're right. Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Another disaster just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Fontaine, didn't it?
We should probably go back outside and make sure the citizens get out.
Yeah.
It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about it. Neverlette's made some emergency plans, so the
But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Yep. Has Furina finally reached her limit? Now that she's talking about her actual feelings, she's starting to look far less stiff. You begin to talk amongst yourselves as Furina slowly calms down.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Teyvat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
Yeah, that's what Dainsleif said in the video. The god of justice seeks to judge all other gods, but even she knows not to make an enemy of the divine. The will of heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. So, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way. So, did the heavenly principles make the prophecy?
Who knows?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free. Indeed, I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. With fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Man, that's split personality, am I right? We're running out of time. You can't just go back to square one like this. I have to get more information out of here. Furina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Oh, excuse me. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden? That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
And you're trying to fight fate because it's your fate to do so? That's a big brain moment. But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you would call a witness.
Witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Teyvat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. If Teyvat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
If that's the case...
There's no time left. Please, Furina, just spit it out. Cutscene?
Interesting.
What?
Oh, that's interesting.
How? Lenny, you magical man.
Yeah. Lenny, what the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, proceed to the trial of our god.
Man, can you imagine how betrayed Furina must feel now, like to Ether? Or that's rough.
Honestly, like a minute or two more, and she might have said it all.
Yeah.
And now, like, never going to say anything.
Yeah. That's probably bad timing on your part, Lenny.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Like, I figured as soon as they urged Furina to get into the house, like, it was some kind of part of the plan.
Yeah.
But, like, this.
We're on an entirely different island. Okay.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor for a duel.
Alright.
The Iron Sting.
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Yeah?
And you?
I can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Furina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
And what does it mean?
I raised
Sure,
my hands
Furina.
just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Furina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you.
Okay.
Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words, this shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin! Woohoo! Now we're making history.
People of Fontaine are so weird.
Yeah.
Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
Then, who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
What up?
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
You were so close to getting her to tell the truth, to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. We ended it too soon. She didn't just stop. We almost got it out of her. It's okay though, as long as we can defeat Furina in court, we'll still have a chance to figure everything out. Okie dokie. Done.
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Yeah.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates.
Okay. I really like these little snapshots.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing them more often.
Yeah.
They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean, the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
This was all a giant marketing scheme for me. Come to my show next Friday.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human.
Okay. How do you move the box, though, from that distance?
My thanks,
How
Furina.
exactly did
Without
that
your help,
work?
we could never have pulled off
That's
such
like
an
a day's
extraordinary
travel at
performance.
least.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off.
Yo, bet Arlecchino coming in clutch.
We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
That sounds extremely expensive.
The earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation
Would you not feel the box moving?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Sorry about that. We deceived you back there.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for
I wonder if we'll see Risley here.
Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted
I don't
with
think so. That would
conversation
be
once you
cool.
found me in
Yeah, I was about to
Poisson.
say, I have a feeling we're not going to see him again until like the very end.
Yeah.
You'd make sure that I didn't know
Until his
anything
plan
amiss
actually becomes
before
relevant.
revealing yourself
Yeah.
as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
for us to give you one last chance. We hope that you would share your secret with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
So, then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Yeah, the only thing we can do now is to judge the Hydro Archon. Still, I can't help but be a little bothered by that conversation earlier. What did Furina want to say to me right before we arrived on stage? If only we waited like another 5 minutes.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Cool beans.
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too. Hey, Charlotte!
Paimon, we are in court.
We're literally accusing the fucking Hydro Archon. How is this a time for... Oh, hi, Charlotte!
Wow, what a coincidence seeing you here. You come here often?
Timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
It's a super practical gift. I never would have thought of using it this way.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Oh boy, another court case.
Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervillette had a difference of opinion with the oratories. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Tui Harbinger. She's an
Yo, Arlecchino portrait?
instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think.
I regret I didn't almost die.
According to Monsieur Nervillette, both child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time.
What? Did we tell Neuvillette about the whale? Yeah, we
I
did.
don't know. Maybe. Probably.
How would Charlotte know that?
I nearly lost my
She's built different. I don't know.
I don't know.
Still gives me shivers. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Alright.
The prosecution and defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervillette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true. But my charge
What?
is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
Where'd that come from?
Why is he just speaking now?
That is true,
Who
but my
are you?
charges. Oh, that's the hard one. Okay. Happy?
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait,
Alright.
what was that? Lady Furina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Furina, do you plead
I mean,
guilty
Neuvillette
to
would
the
probably
charge?
know the most about any of that. Because, like, you know, the Archon's powers come from the
Lady Furina,
Drag Sovereigns.
I
Yeah.
plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Furina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Furina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Furina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I really enjoy that all the citizens are like, yeah, she's kind of a sucky god, but she's still a god.
Yeah.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only refute these claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
The people want to see you as their Archon because that's their long-held belief.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
I don't know, both different, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, there are multiple species that live for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh, okay. Why can Furina live for so long despite being... Why can Furina live for so long despite being she's human? That's a weirdly phrased question.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. During the diplomatic meeting with the Knave, she revealed that she has already probed Furina on her own, and believes it is possible that not only is Furina not really the Archon, but that she is actually afflicted with some sort of curse. That sounds right.
Yeah.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. Even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Palmer, can you be quiet for a little bit in the ether talk? That was a very cool line.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the Knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger.
God, I wish Articuno was here. It doesn't matter who gave us the information. What matters is the veracity of the claim.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Nyra?
So Furina, instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Furina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
And yet you have a vision on your belt.
For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera.
She pronounces it differently than Anuvula.
That is used in every aspect of life.
She left like a short pause between the D and
Yeah.
Annalise.
The Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. Wait, that one trial proved the opposite. Furina actually has no control over the Oratrice at all. Child's conviction. That would be it.
Yeah.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Furina, you are in court. You are literally required to provide an explanation.
While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial.
Exactly.
You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all
That's
kinds
baby,
of
you don't know how it works.
Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Since we can put the Oratrice aside for now. But then, Miss Reno, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon? There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Well,
Nubla straight up icon BS right now. A brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless. Surely an Archon can at least match the capabilities of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
She has a Hydro vision.
Yes, it's all because
that vision can be fake though.
all
Yeah.
Archons derive their power from the
Who
faith
knows?
of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into indemnitium.
Okay.
Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah.
No matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
It's pretty one-sided, this case.
Hey, come now,
Yep.
everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor
Well, that's not doing you any favors right
Yeah.
now.
committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Yeah, man.
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is?
It's your mom.
You have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such. Then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
Why are you surprised?
How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
If you can't prove that she isn't Archon, we can try to prove that she is just a human. And if she's only human,
she's only human.
Yeah.
Big brain time.
While exploring the ruin near +1, it began to collapse and Navia fell into the water. That's not it. The entrance to the Primordial Sea is sealed beneath the Forbidden Zone in the Fortress of Mirapede, and recently the Primordial Sea has nearly broken out and is temporarily pushed back by Nuvolet's power. Not that. It turns out that Fontainians can be dissolved by water from the Primordial Sea. Over the years, Vacher kidnapped and dissolved many young women for experiments to try and find a way to bring back his wife, who has been dissolved. Murder case unfolded in the midst of Lenny and Annette's first experience at the Grand Opera House. Though they were cleared of their accusations against them, their identities as agents of the House of Hearth were revealed. I don't know. This one maybe?
So,
That all Fontainians can dissolve in water from the Primordial Sea. And that means...
Since you
we're just gonna
insist
dump
on claiming to
Primordial
be
Sea
Yeah.
not a human,
on her.
then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Navia, chill with the hate boner.
Yeah.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now,
Of course not. Yeah, of
I brought
course.
some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Furina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater will have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
Mm-hmm.
If Lady Furina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
No, man. Furina?
Lady Furina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course you had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... That's not what we thought she would...
Okay.
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Furina, you may...
Oh!
Hey!
She actually... Furina's thinking, oh my god, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah.
My hand is still here. I haven't been dissolved. Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon. I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water. Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewing? If you are present, Miss Siegewing, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewing?
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not pure primordial water.
Oh, yeah, that could also be.
What were you saying?
Also, Fremine didn't die from coming in contact with primordial sea, so
Yeah.
obviously there is an exception.
Yeah, like maybe it's just maybe the water that she put her in was actually diluted.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewing.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Furina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin.
Yeah, same as Fremine.
She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewing.
Okay.
Lady Furina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Furina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Furina could have...
I can't believe...
I can't believe I was about to die. Like, holy balls, is that close? But what's really going on here? Furina can't have not known the consequences of touching that water as a human. That really does speak volumes, though. Like, she was willing to potentially die just to keep up this facade.
Yeah.
This is too unlike how she usually acts, unless it's actually more important for her to keep up her facade than to save her own life. But hadn't she given up on everything a long time ago?
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks. What happened just now didn't prove a single thing. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Nice.
You know, like, if she said it calmer, she might have won some of them over, but, like, the way she says it...
Yeah, she's very clearly freaking out.
Yeah.
You know, personally anyways, it's kind of hard to feel bad for Furina when she's bringing all of it onto herself. Like, there is no, oh, Furina doesn't deserve this. Like, no, she's had this coming.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Herman doesn't think there's any way left for Furina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Okie dokie. Dot dot dot. Oh?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
Okay.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is guilty.
Whoa. These effects. She's doing the pose.
Yeah.
Where she's on like a throne like seat and she's having a single tear run down her cheek.
Final verdict on the charges.
Oh, what's it gonna be on Star Rail? Oh, it's a 3-star.
Pain.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Furina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Did the Oratrice just declare Furina to be innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct?
But...
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
For many a time, the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the
But it's also interesting the wording that like the Oratrice did still say the Hydro Archon is guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though like she's proven to not be the Archon.
Yeah, that's true actually. And they did go out of their way for Nuva to say, in its exact wording.
Yeah. And like when he says exact wording is odd, he doesn't mean the death sentence because like that wording is pretty clear.
Yeah. What does that mean then?
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
I can see so.
I mean, impersonation of a god is a pretty serious thing.
Yeah. And, you know, kind of damning an entire nation to drown and evaporate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty death sentence worthy. What's more strange is, instead of Furina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
The Oratrice has a sense of humor.
Yeah. Lol.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Yo, Fremine, my boy.
Okay. What does he have to say now?
Still going? Fremine, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
So has he been to the Oratrice now, or...
With some help from the other two, Fremine brings a stone slate. Hey, I found it.
Oh, that thing. Again. Okay.
Okay, so that's definitely... What's her face? The previous Hydro Archon.
Yeah.
There's a man in the middle. And it's surrounded by Oceanid. Okay.
looked everywhere
Oh.
and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in me.
Don't worry, the mystery hasn't been resolved yet. It's still not too late for you to shine.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Femine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
So what do you see? What is it?
And this is supposed to be the first slate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
The previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanids into human beings. Is that what she was doing? Okay.
Maybe. So that would explain why only Fontainians are affected by the primordial seawater and not anyone else.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the
That's
man
the
supposed to be,
sin?
though?
I think just like a random Fontainian.
Oh.
Like you said, like he just got turned into a human.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's Furina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So
But why would that be a sin?
Yeah.
the real Hydro Archon we've been kind of talking about?
I don't think that's a sin, though.
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the contents of the slate and the events in real life.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
I remember pretty well. Select to check the descriptions on the stone slates to extract key information from them. You find scenarios related to stone slates, contents, and incidents recorded in the interview book. There you can verify said content. Yada yada. Alright.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
And that's why they appeared as Oceanids in after they're dissolved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would one say when they're exposed to primordial water, they're just reverted to their original form? You know what that kind of reminds me of, actually? The Hyantia.
Yeah, with the Telethia.
Yeah.
Second stone slate shows
Yeah.
Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else?
Did we?
Well, the first slate is the prophecy the Fontainians of
I don't know if she's talking about Nyra.
people dissolving into the sea.
That's the only one I can like kinda
I don't know.
But I don't know.
We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
Alright. Okay. feel like it'd be this one.
Yeah,
We know from the case
definitely.
of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. This might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve.
The original sin.
Hmm.
That would be the entrance of the primordial sea is sealed beneath the forbidden zone.
So maybe the primordial sea was the way of punishing Fontaine?
I don't
Maybe?
think so. Because the primordial sea is like, it's the first sea. It was already there.
Yeah, I get that. But like, that's the only way I could like explain the punishment, I guess.
I would think the punishment would be the third slide, the third slate, where the Hydro Archon is sinking.
Who knows?
So this one here with Nivolette, I think would be the third slate. Okay, it was the Furina one.
To take place has all happened before, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia has recorded on the stone slates.
Right. And that one would be Nivolette? No?
No, I think Navia. Right?
Shows a Hydro Archon sinking into the sea, surrounded by many people.
Because like she also fell into the water, but she was able to be saved. Or the one that that N. Although I don't know, I don't think that's like relevant necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think
It's probably the
Navia.
Navia one. Yeah.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon.
Oh wow, the YouTube quality is really bad right now.
Alluding to the same thing?
Rip.
I can't read a single word. Okay, it's getting a little better. Alright. The fourth one shows a scene that is basically identical to that described in the prophecy circulating throughout Fontaine. Fontainians will eventually be dissolved into the sea, and the Hydro Archon will sit alone on her throne and weep. It's not child.
Maybe that is the tea time thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Nope.
No?
It has to be Nivolette then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontainians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Alright.
Cool beans. Can the quality on YouTube get better, please?
I mean, I have it open as well, and the quality is fine for me, so it might just be your internet.
Yeah, it just got better for me.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by real events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light.
Okie dokie.
But still a question, like, who is the Hydro Archon?
Yeah.
Now, and where is she? I have a theory, but that is because I got spoiled on some things,
Mhm.
so I'm not gonna say them.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, not on the scenes themselves, but YouTube thumbnails and stuff.
yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just, it's still Furina, but, like, you know how her eyes indicate she probably
Mm.
has a split personality. Well, it's not a split personality, more
I
like,
mean, we saw that split personality in the first two acts,
did we?
basically. Yeah, when she was defending against or like prosecuting, I think it was Child, maybe?
Are you talking about that little silhouette that appears?
Yeah,
Oh no, I always just thought of that as like her inner thoughts.
that's also possible, but like no other character is shown like that with their inner thoughts.
Yeah, but also
That's why
gotta
I
remember
think,
that Furina is excessively theatric, even into her
yeah,
own personal
yeah.
thoughts. And like they could also just be the Genshin developers putting more effort into scenes. So,
But we also had the Traveler with more in-depth thoughts, and
yeah,
there was not,
that's what I'm saying. Like even though we haven't seen that
technical
before, that
character
doesn't
overload.
necessarily mean anything. They could have just been, putting more effort into
Yeah,
the
it doesn't,
story now.
of course, it doesn't have to mean anything, but like, I guess
Hmm.
that it could be one explanation.
Yeah.
But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontainians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydro Archon was her creation of Fontainians from Oceanids.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratries judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
I guess that raises the question then of why did the previous Hydro Archon do that to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, why did she turn Oceanids into humans?
I mean, I guess you just wanted to rule humans.
Like, this ocean business ain't for me. Let's make y'all humans.
Yeah. I don't know.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
As for the third slate, I'm still convinced it should have come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Okay. Dot dot dot.
Did you get it?
Paimon, shut up. Let him focus.
Not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you.
We are gonna die.
Yay!
Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land.
Okay. So she turned them into humans because they wanted to be humans?
Of human beings.
Okay.
Wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race.
That was very dramatic, Nivolette.
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of showing off more than anything.
Appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
Bro, could you imagine coming home from court today and you see your wife like, hey honey, how was court today? Bro, oh my god, I just learned the origin of human race.
all we thought was real is fake.
Yeah. Everything we know is a lie. We are sea people. We are water.
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Yeah, that's honestly good idea.
Yeah, that's a very reasonable reaction.
After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
So they are in the right order? What's the third slate? What's the third slate? Yeah. Why is... I can't talk. What is the third slate supposed to represent then?
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Oh well, that's
Exclamation mark,
fun.
exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
That's usually how prophecies work.
What should we do?
Ever seen Star Wars? I don't know. I feel like there's no way out of this.
No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler.
I mean, Furina is
Point out
already
another small
crying
fallacy
on
in your
her
deductions.
throne.
Yeah.
About the fourth slate.
So,
You probably thought
I
that
don't
the
know how
eruption
much
of
longer we
primordial
have.
seawater
Yeah.
beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come.
That's still a
Is
sign.
that a sign? Yeah.
I believe you already encountered it once before.
It's not a sign, it's a warning for something to come. That's what a sign means.
Yeah. Okay.
Have? Wait, could it be?
I have no idea what he's referring to.
Me neither.
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Okay. Okay, so we just have to reaffirm this.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, the whale.
Yeah.
Probably. So, child's thing. The whale in the dream.
Yeah. There we
It's
go.
both dream and reality.
There we go.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth.
Oh, now the
The
quality is
original
dying.
sin.
Holy shit.
Oh, fun.
On YouTube.
Yeah, that's what it would look like for me earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. Oh, fun.
We can do this.
Oh, cutscene.
Oh. Oh, well, I think we are a bit late.
Mhm.
Oh, hello.
Wow, what timing you have. Music, though.
Yeah.
Wow, like overpowered Nouvellette.
Uh-oh.
It's your boy!
Hello there.
That music. Wow.
And it just fucks off again.
Yeah. Like, ah, screw you, I'm leaving. Oh wow, Child's pretty hurt. I ain't done yet.
Oh. Bye-bye. There he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
That's right. I'd wager that's also the one that Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has
Okay.
been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
So after it drinks all the primordial seawater, it's going to eat the Fontainians? Is that
I
what I'm getting?
guess. Yeah.
Precisely.
That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh
Yeah.
impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
Wow. Also, I'm just saying, we haven't seen Furina in a bit. What's she doing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's doing anything. I think she's still just sitting up there, but...
Yeah.
Target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
He's having the time of his life.
We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded
No, there's the quality again.
all we need to do to stop
No, it's fixed.
Yeah, it's been kind of shit for a while now.
Yeah, it's off and on a lot. You have to like refresh it, and it'll try to fix itself.
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Teyvat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
Oh.
Dot dot dot.
What is happening?
Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
After everything, it still turned out like this. We couldn't fight against fate. Wait, but this is all about fate.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
The abyss. Right?
Mm-hmm. And that's where Skirk comes into play, probably.
Yeah.
As your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Oh, okay. Could it be that even if the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? Did I miss something? Wait, I forgot about Furina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at that last moment in the giant magic box? Bro, these snapshots are so good.
Yeah.
What is her real secret? Another cutscene?
Oh. That's the
Yeah.
Aura Tree. What the hell?
What's happening with the Aura trees?
The Orchis Mechanique de Elise Coronel.
It is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
It does the death sentence itself? Yeah, she's just letting it happen. What? Oh!
Alright.
That's a nice outfit. Oh, Furina?
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing.
That's not Furina.
You are not Furina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro-Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor.
So it's still Furina.
Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreamed
Assume
of.
here, that's probably one of her two personalities.
Yeah, I guess what I meant. Like, it's at the very least, it's not actually the previous Hydro-Archon.
Yes. I imagine she created Furina as like a second personality to hide behind.
Yeah.
So that heavenly principles didn't.
For the heavenly principles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the task of saving the nation, the coordinating duties the Hydro-Archon, not to mention that. Yeah.
But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this. Any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her.
She's perfect. She's everything I wanted her to be. Anyways, I cursed her. That's pretty funny.
The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydra Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Furina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
So did we see any of that?
I don't think so. I think the Traveler doesn't know shit.
Yeah. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection, just like I did with that ocean at the fountain of Lucien. Wait, could this be Furina's inner world? Furina, what is she doing on stage? Wait a moment, that probably isn't Furina. That's likely a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Well, can't leave anyway, so we gotta keep going. So, can I?
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but
August?
I must ask you to keep to the rules.
What does that mean?
I've never heard that word before.
I mean, it's spelled as August. That's the confusing part.
But...
August, I don't know.
All right. It is not my intent to
Don't look at me,
reprimand
don't
you.
look at me.
There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Oh,
Just let the stage lights go off, please, if only for 1 second.
I am Focalor.
That way I can become myself again.
Are upon me. I must at all times display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of the Hydro Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconscious would have an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way. Turn off all the spotlights. What happens if I talk to her again first? Okay, the same thing.
Okay, I looked up what it means. It's majestic or eminent.
Performance
Oh.
is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Commit it to memory.
Ow, rude.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Bruh. That's all the spotlights turned off. In Furina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? Ticket? When did that end up here? Front row seats? Either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Furina. Scene 1 before a mirror, Furina. Oh! Hey! We're in her outfit. Interesting.
Furina. Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the
Whenever we get the chance to move around again, we'll probably have to end the stream there.
Oh. Very good. You know it
Because
well.
you know there's a whole lot left.
I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
So is this when Furina was first created, I guess?
After all.
Maybe.
You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right?
So, if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you. Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a
Yeah,
role.
it is like at the very beginning, I think.
Play as
You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of
Oh, excuse me.
defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
Do Furina and Fossilor have the same voice actor?
Yep.
That's insanely good.
Yeah.
That is range. Holy balls, Batman.
To accomplish this mission,
Also, since we're on the topic of her voice actor, like the voice she gives for like this newly created Furina, I think it's very good.
It's super good, man.
Very vulnerable, very meek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's nuts.
I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
Alright. Scene 2. Good lord, it's a lot of dialogue.
I think we're gonna sit here for another 30 minutes.
Oh my god. There's a lot, man. It's probably gonna be a scene 3 too.
Yeah, at the very least. Since we're basically just going through her whole life now.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural.
Summon courage.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Furina de Fontaine, your new Archon.
I hear Ernest.
In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice.
Close politely.
Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
Makes sense.
Perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-back puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? This is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving.
Well, you know what? It was a massive concern for me about Furina's reasoning for, you know, not communicating.
Yeah.
But I would say this is good enough. I accept this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was getting pretty prepared for me to, like, actually really dislike Froslor / Furina. But they handled it well.
Calm down, Furina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I believe.
...
Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule.
Man, you know, in this case, Furina should get the Oscar of the lifetime.
Yeah.
Were you one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow then? Well, it seems you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a
I'm getting real hungry.
atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
A personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest. I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Your future may yet be bright after all.
Respectfully, I need this scene to hurry up.
Yeah.
Flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the
Oh, that was loud.
stand within the opera epiclese, so long as I stand before the oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Scene 3. Opera house. Okay.
What the fuck? Wait.
Oh, okay. That was something. Oh,
Lady Furina,
goodness.
case reports as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neverlet.
I would like to know that as well, yeah.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now. Do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
It's interesting to see like how she just wanted to be done with all of it from the very start.
Yeah. Like she's been waiting since like day one.
Yeah.
Lady Furina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right. Deuteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of a believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
You're such a gentle and wise God. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Alright. I'm so hungry, man.
Lady Furina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they have.
So Furina was like also like trying to find an alternative to the whole problem.
Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
And go cry ourselves to sleep.
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. It's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved. All right, Furina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's another.
So I guess Furina really was prepared to tell the traveler everything.
Yeah.
Scene 4, oh my god.
Also,
Lady Furina, here are the new
I
trial
don't know,
reports for
did
the latest cases, as
Prosidor
well
ever
as a
tell
summary of the
Furina
following.
that, like, she can't die? Because if so, then, like, actually going to touch the primordial seawater still wouldn't have done anything, right?
Yeah, and Frida seemed like she actually wasn't sure whether or not that would end in her death.
Yeah, so I think she didn't,
Yeah.
Prosidor didn't tell her. I would think.
Yeah.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Furina, I've waited so long.
Indeed,
Day-to-day
my
life.
dear loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor.
Lady Furina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood.
Poisson.
Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly
So one could say Furina was under her own prison, like Nahida.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting parallels between Fontaine and Sumeru. Yep. Wow. Scene. What number even is that?
182,375, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations
That's
ago.
interesting.
Wow.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant of a line most ardent.
She kind of sounds like she wants to cry.
Yeah, I was
like an undertone.
Mm.
My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you crying?
Wow.
Really now? I didn't even notice.
She's breaking.
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No,
Oh my god.
a manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
Good lord, man. That like strained smile with her just constantly crying. That's wow. Jeez.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer?
I think we heard that line before. From the fountain.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I'll have to look for it later. But I'm pretty sure we heard that line.
Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy destroy all I've done so far.
Yeah, and the Traveler is someone outside of the vat.
Yeah. So that's why she was prepared to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy.
Man, you know how close we were to screwing everything up if she told us everything in front of the court?
Yeah.
That would have been a massive whoopsie.
All I can do is wait. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
So Fosler is gonna die, but Furina will be alive, I think.
Yeah.
Seeing
At least
it,
as like a human.
yeah.
Okay, Furina and?
Furina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone.
Oh, okay, we're here
I
now.
don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
That's my voice. Is this scene from when we were within that giant magic box? This is great. I didn't think the scene would replay in her inner world. Surely I'll find out what she wanted to tell me this time.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case...
He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people
Yeah.
will be the ones to pay the price. No, Furina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Furina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard.
Dot dot dot.
No, I have nothing to say. I am Furina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
So even Furina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be.
Because she counts as human?
To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself.
That too, I guess.
She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. But that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber.
Mm-hmm.
It now seems that that person within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice. Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes.
So the gnosis inside it?
Alas, your understanding of this
Mm-hmm.
device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no
I wonder how
connector
the
of
Vati will get it
justice.
then.
It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Furina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through
We're over
the
3 hours
institution
now.
that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Furina
Hey, that
nor
means the
Fusalo,
next stream is gonna be short.
but for the Hydro Archon.
You would think, right?
Relatively.
The destruction
Yeah,
of that divine
hopefully.
throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
Oh.
In other words,
Yo.
this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
Oh.
But...
So Nivelad would become the next Hydra Archon.
Yeah.
So the theories were right in a sense. It was just that he isn't, he will be.
Yeah.
Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
Gonna cry.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed.
Yeah.
I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then
Leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
That is true.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too.
What was Neuvillette doing before that?
Yeah.
We need some more context behind Neuvillette. That's what we need now.
In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Cutscene.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Man. There's a lot of zoom ups on her feet.
Yeah.
From this moment on. Of course it's raining. Whoa!
The music.
Yeah!
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Alright.
Bro, I have chills. It's pouring. He's the Hydro Archon now. Oh my god, I want Neuvillette now.
Too late.
Yeah. Next time.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
Yeah.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Oh.
On our side.
Yeah, an Orcon and a dragon.
We now have the ability to separate the
Oh
power
yeah,
of
like
the
dragon
primordial
is
sea
more
from
powerful.
that creature. We should seize
Like
the
a full
opportunity to
strength.
pursue our quarry.
Dragon.
You obtained the power just now?
Traveler, the oratories can no longer function. I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
You? You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Okay.
We're going to the domain already.
No, no, no! I'm not ready for this. Bro.
Hey, AR-60, let's go.
Did I? I didn't even notice.
Yes, it just showed at the top.
Oh my god.
Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. We shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power.
No food for you.
Oh my god, I'm starving.
Things are about to get dicey.
Oh yeah, I'm just sitting here, it's 1 AM for me, and I'm like, oh yeah, alright. Good thing I don't have anything important tomorrow in school, so...
Torn to oblivion.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself.
Bro. Okay. I was supposed to say, I don't have Asai or Numa, but you can still just normal attack it. Oh.
Oh. The music.
Yeah.
Hello. That is not. That's fucking Shambhala music from 3 houses.
Yeah, but it works better here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works fine in houses. But the thing's not dead yet, so... Oh, is he taking its power?
Electro stage, maybe?
What the fuck?
Hi.
Hello there. Bye-bye, child.
Bro, poor child, though. His entire arc, he's just getting yeeted around.
Should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
So Skirk has a master too?
Hmm.
Bro, what is the food chain here?
Although, if she's saying...
But they
Um,
bumped into one another earlier than I thought.
if she said
Blunder.
her master's
Suppose
pet,
I'll have to
Yeah.
swing my
referring to
sword
the
3 million
narwhal,
times
and the
as
narwhal
penance.
is a being that can travel the stars.
Yeah.
Her master, I would assume at least, can also travel the stars.
Oh, definitely.
Which makes me wonder.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, but it's possible that her master could be Lumine.
Maybe.
Just a thought, because she is connected to the abyss.
Yeah.
So, and her master more than likely being like the thing that I wouldn't see is like, Lumine controlling the fucking narwhal to take energy off of other worlds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part I don't see.
Mm-hmm.
But the other would work. The other stuff
Yeah.
would work.
Your master's pet?
Power. Who are you exactly?
Also, I expected Skirk to be taller.
Yeah. Well, I have to get another look at her.
It's just that he gives the impression that she was the less talkative person.
She kind of looks like maybe like a shorter, tall female model.
Yeah.
Because she's not as tall as the taller ones, but she feels taller than the medium-sized ones.
Yeah, probably.
I
I still
did not have
expected her
anything to say to the weak.
I don't know.
Be taller.
But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
Her voice also isn't what I expected.
Mm-hmm. But I like
it's
it.
also not like completely far off. Yeah, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I expected a little lower.
Yeah.
But
That makes
it
sense.
works.
So you may speak to me as equals.
What sort of person will take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. The strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats
Her
too
eyes are
much,
really
and I
interesting.
have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks.
Okay, can we like talk about who is your master?
Yeah.
I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation.
I think it's done worse, Paimon.
Yeah.
Well, child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him.
Him.
Sorry, I
Him,
assumed you
okay.
did. His name is Sertologi.
Okay, so not Lamine.
No, that is also not a name we've ever heard.
Yeah. Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name?
The Fowl sounds like a Fatui name.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing?
But I don't think
Well,
it is.
Oh!
The Visionary?
Or Gold Vine Daughter?
Gold? What? But Gold's a woman.
What?
Right? Gold is the one who made the Rift Hounds and created Albedo.
Oh.
What? Yeah.
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine Daughter.
They're both pursuing some.
Oh, never mind. They're not the same person.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't you also mention a visionary person?
There's people that the master is associated with.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting me. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
Oh, there's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural, after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Is it actually flooded?
Yep.
Oh my god!
You know, better get rid of that fast, because I don't know how long people can swim.
Yeah, and
oh, now we actually might be able to see Risley's. So.
Yeah. Bro, what about the people who don't know how to swim?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, in a nation that closely linked with water, you would expect the people to know how to swim, but like,
There's still gonna be some who don't.
Toddlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, small toddlers. Like, people don't have the strength.
Mm-hmm.
There's Risley. Let's go. Good boy.
Mm-hmm.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue.
Bro, this entire... God.
It's so long.
I mean, it's so long, but it's so good.
Yeah. Honestly, we might as well just finish this.
I don't want to.
It's like, I don't think that the next time we'll be able to, like, I don't think there's much left after that.
Yeah. I mean, we can finish the Archon quest next stream and also finish New Violet's story quest if you wanted to.
That's true.
I can't believe it actually flooded. Oh, never mind. It's receding.
Let's go.
It's a miracle! Water's receding. We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Man, the relief those people must feel is insane.
Yeah. I would feel that. Someone give that girl a hug, man.
What's
she
that?
needs it. Someone give Furina a hug.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I sure am starving. YouTube inequality is dead again.
What do you think? Pretty
Paimon,
yeah?
she's
The steamboat's
Navia's the
idea was
boss
pretty
of
simple.
like one of the biggest.
Of
Always
free
been a
edition
big
packed
shot.
with margins with
Yeah.
good news to calm people down. The value for these big stories lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Hyman's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down?
Oh, this time will be different.
Charlotte, I need you to stop talking so I can get off. Please, I'm begging you.
There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
Thank
Okay.
God.
So, bro, this. We're like, I think 1.5 hours after. Yeah, 1.5 hours overshot.
Yeah. It's suffering. Okay, we're ending the stream right now. We can talk about everything that happened another time. I need to eat. I need to recover from all this. We'll talk about what happens on Discord or whatever, or just next time we stream. I'll talk about next time we stream later. We'll do all that later. We're ending the stream now.
Yeah, I can also go to sleep then.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do this. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, bye bye.